Ow. I'm back. Jesus fucking Christ. Start off the stream with another fucking... Anyways, how y'all doing? I'm not gonna really be talking much today. I fucking hate Littorio. Fucking incendiary bitch. Oh, I wish I could chill, Press Ackler. I wish. I fucking wish. Chill is a luxury that I seldom can afford. But anyways, how y'all doing? Like I said, I'm probably not gonna be talking much. I'll talk to chat every once in a while if I feel like it, but mainly I'm just gonna try to start making friend points. I'll stream until I want to go eat dinner, which is gonna be in a couple hours. So, hang out and chill if you want. It's not really much else going on though. That's correct, I do use an iPad 6th gen. Current Angra MP level, we can check. MP9. Yeah, making CE bombs. Just trying to prepare for future Cs. Oh, you were the one who asked me about CE bombs on Twitter. Ah, okay. But yeah, like I said in my reply, making it, I wrote the script for a little video that I wanted to make on the importance of friend points, and part of it, the second half of it, I talk about CE bombs and how I go about making them and shit, and why it's important for you to do that. So I'm probably gonna record the voice lines for them later on tonight, and then I'll work on like actually editing it together and stuff. It should be out by tomorrow, because it shouldn't be like a too much of an edit heavy video, because it's more like a PSA video more than anything. So should be out by tomorrow. I actually wanted to work on it today, but no thanks to fucking work, I decided against that. You know about CE bombs like 6 months in this game. To be fair, most people don't really have a huge need for CE bombs, because like if you play this game casually, or if you're free to play, or you play this game casually, whatever, um, it's chances are you're probably not gonna have a super C or the ability to make a super C like right away. So I can understand if you didn't know anything about CE bombs or never saw the point of making CE bombs, uh, for like the first, couple months in the game or whatever. But um, if you've been playing for over a year or something, if you've been playing for a long time, then by this point there's no excuse for you not to know about it, and at least not try to make some of your own. So much front points. When I first finished rolling boxes, I was at over 12 million friend points, and I was able to roll 5 million of it in about 2 days. Friend points go by pretty fast, man. Like I said, when I've talked about friend points and CE bonds before, but every max level super C that I have, well, just not just that I have, but in general, they take what 2 to 3 million friend points each. So if I go to my craft essence list here and show you guys all the level 100 Cs that I have. So basically the first 3 rows, they're all Cs that I leveled up manually, because you can tell it because they're all level 100. Each one of those Cs took anywhere from 2 million to 3 million friend points generally. Now, most of these, most of the CEXP I rolled during triple or double success rate ups, where you get double or triple the chance of getting a super success or a great success, and that speeds up the process quite considerably. So realistically, I think I only spent around I spent a little less than 2 to 3 million, maybe like anywhere from like 1.5 to maybe 2.5 million, just rough estimate, just throwing it out there. But even then, still a lot of friend points. So. And given all the quality of life stuff we've gotten with the friend points and shit, how you could roll 100 over your max inventory space, it's gotten very easy to roll tons of friend points at once. So, because right now the best time it is for a while, because when's our next double or even triple success rate up? I wouldn't expect it to be in a long time, because usually they're pretty rare. Like they only hand those out like for special occasions, mainly. Like you can count on getting one for like anniversary. Like anniversary is usually a common time for us to have double or triple success rate ups, so that's fine. But like outside of that, or outside of like random stuff like this, or like, you know, milestone updates or whatever that we have going on right now, like usually you don't have them. So now better than never. Like if you're thinking about saving your shit for like, oh, but I want a triple success rate up. And it's like, well, when's the next time we're gonna get that realistically? Like you don't know. Like I'm sure you do know, but I'm sure the next one is probably not is probably gonna be a ways away. So. Are you doing only one layer CE bombs? What do you mean by one layer CE bombs? Do we get double success on anniversaries? We get triple, usually. At least nowadays, now that we're 2 years in. How often do you use Black Grail? Whenever I need to farm and there's like there's some like, enemy that has a ton of HP. I use it more often than you think, but lately not as much. You seem to be getting more super than great sucks. Yeah, that should make sense because super is double the XP, great is triple. So yeah, that makes sense. You should be getting more super sucks than great sucks, given that great sucks is the best kind of suck you can get in this game. Yeah, for some reason FGO thinks the word great is it has a better context than super. I don't know why they think that, but oh well, that's how it is. Most UC besides scope. Any one of the 50% chargers? I've been using Sunrise a lot, I think. That's just an NA, and JP super and great are reversed. That makes no sense. You don't feed a bunch of limit broken 1 stars, limit break 2 stars, and so on? No. All I do is just grab a limit broken 2-star C from friend point rolls and start feeding everything into that 2-star C, and then save up 6 of them and then combine them together all together at the same time. The largest crit you've ever done? These are some really specific questions you're asking me, Taco. I have no idea. If I had to guess, probably during Rashomon rerun, where we had when I was using when I was using Gil and Merlin. Probably then. I know during my Arash kill video, my Bryn did 557,000 damage on a Buster crit. And that was without Merlin's hero creation. Well, without its 100% crit buff anyway. Pull any angry mangoes yet? Over the past 2 days, I pulled 2. Whoops. Even if you're a whale, you don't get that much friend points from support. Yeah, which is why lotteries is really important to me, or at least one of the many reasons why lotteries is so important. I'll give you an example. You guys probably know X0, who's also another FGO streamer here on Twitch. He has very reliable front point revenue because, like I mentioned before when I talked about this in the past, X0 because he gets subscribers on his friends list, and then he has friends who's also on his friend list who usually take his support whenever they can. Because of all that, and because of how he optimizes logins and stuff, he gets a lot of friend points just through that. But as much as that is, that still doesn't compare to how many friend points you get from lotteries. Because how many friend points do you get per lottery box? It's like 14,000 something, right? So since I did over 1,000 boxes, you just multiply that number by 1,000. That's how many friend points I'm getting. So I'm willing to bet. I didn't see X0's friend point count myself, because I haven't been paying attention to his stream. I've been lurking in his stream, but I don't think I've been paying attention to it much. But when I was done rolling all my boxes, I probably still ended up with more friend points than he did at the end, because I don't know how many boxes total X0 managed to farm on his main account by the end of the event, but I'm pretty sure he didn't reach 1,000. Maybe he did, I don't know. But if he didn't, then that means that I probably ended up with more friend points than he did at the end. So lotteries are a very good way for literally anybody to get a ton of friend points. Like that's one of the best things about. Am I dropping frames again? Yeah, I dropped a few frames there. But that's one of the best things about friend points in this game, is that they're useful to literally anybody. Like free-to-play players, casuals, dolphins, whoever, like whales. Everybody can make use of friend points. Like everybody's got a reason to want more, and which is great, because that gives you a reason to farm lotteries a whole bunch. Which, every lottery has had friend points, and that's why I'm not really so hardcore about like friend point like constantly logging in for more friend points and shit like that. Because I know, like, whatever friend points that I do miss out on off my support, I'm like, whatever. Give me a lottery and I'll make up for that difference and then some. So. He also wakes up at night to refresh his support. I think that's a bit of a stretch. I think it was just exaggerating just for the sake of his stream. But, even if he does, that's very unnecessary. I'm just gonna be real. That's really unnecessary. I understand, like, if it's not an event, like, calm down there, buddy. Like, how many people are actually using your support, right? Like, what do I know? I don't have most of my friends just don't give a shit about my support, to be perfectly honest. So maybe he lives in a reality that I just don't understand when it comes to friend points. But like, if it's not an event, like why? You did like 800 and something, yeah. So those extra 200 boxes probably made up for the difference. Probably made up for like the friend points that I wasn't getting off my off my support list, off my own support list. So that's why I'm not too worried about constantly optimizing friend point game off support list, because like I said, whatever I don't get through that, like by doing that, like I don't care. I got lottery boxes to make up for what I lost or what I didn't get. Sorry. Any advice on how to deal with not getting Merlin and 1500 Sane Quartz? Curl up in your bed, go under the covers, and cry a lot. Well, memes aside, that's rough. Like, to whoever it might be, it's always going to be rough. Even to whales like me who've rolled a lot before, if you go on a long dry streak, it still sucks no matter who you are. Best way to deal with it is just, you just do. There's no easy way to get rid of salt. Salt, we call it salt for a reason. You just kind of deal with it. It's either, hey, can you whale more? Safely, that is. Or if you can't, well. Because like I said before, I mentioned this story before, but I've been on a 2,300 Sane Quartz no SSR dry streak, and that sucked. So, I understand what it feels like going 1,500 Sane Quartz without hitting a rate up SSR, because that's definitely happened more than once before for me too. Though to be fair, in my case, at the very least, I did get whoever I was going for at the end of the day. So. Realistically, only Ember. No, you're not the right guy. But realistically, about it's either hey, are you okay? Are you okay with whaling more and risking losing even more Saint Quartz for the exact same outcome, which is you not having Merlin, or not? That's really about it. Like honest to God, that's really the most reliable way to deal with salt. It's either you keep rolling until you get what you want, or if you can't roll anymore, you just put the game away for a little bit and just go do something else. Like I don't know if like you guys ask the same thing to other people. Probably you probably might only be able to ask this from like a few other people because I'm probably one of the heavier YouTube whales out there. But yeah, honestly, since you're asking me, it's either you know, you deal with salt by either rolling more salt and maybe you get what you want at the risk of getting even more salt, which is never good. Or you just don't deal with the salt and just go do something else. That's it. Just stay away from FGO for a while. If you want to come back to it, that's fine. But take a break from it, and then maybe come back when you feel like, you know, maybe the salt's gone away a little bit. That's really about it. Any tips for Azulane trying to get formidable, starting to farm foxes, then no idea what to do next? Luckily for you, Embers, I have a video. Just so you know how I made a how to min-max your account in Fate Grand Order video, I made that for Azulane too. It's about an hour and fucking 46 minutes long. So again, it's a very long video, but I suggest you go watch that. To answer your question specifically, since you're trying to get formidable and you're also trying to farm fox boats at the same time, I would suggest you instead of farming foxes, because you can farm for foxes any day of the week, right? But instead of going for them, I suggest you start farming the event itself. Like you can at least do the B nodes. Obviously, if you just started, I'm not gonna expect you to do the hard modes. Or the hard nodes that like I'm doing. Like the map I'm doing right now, it's it's D3, which is the toughest hard mode map. So I don't expect you to be able to do this, but at the very least you can try clearing all the way up to B3. because at least B3 should be easy enough, or doable at the very least. How good do you think Saber Lancelot is as a standalone user? As just by himself and without being properly supported by an arts team, he's okay. He's okay. Like he'll put out some good crits, some good crit damage, but that's really about it. Like Saber Lancelot has no party support of his own anyway, unless you count crit stars as party support. But he if he doesn't have an arts team to back him up properly, he's just okay. Again, he's like a crit saber, that's about it. But then again, if you wanted a crit saber, why not just go with Rama? Where's Angra Mainyu actually? There it is. Who'd you pick for the free SR ticket? Lee Shuin. Like I said I would. Recently today I saw a beginner in FGO pull 3 Salters, 1 Merlin, 1 Lalter in just 7 rolls. That's called beginner's luck. You picked Daeon. How good are they? Oof. Got some bad news for you, kid. Unless you already have a well-established account in FGO, Daeon's probably not going to be doing much for you. Main reason for that is because she's an art stall saber, and in FGO, most sabers are DPSs. So she's a very counterintuitive unit. Does skipping rolls have an effect on what you get? No. The moment you hit the roll button, whether it's on Quartz Gacha or Friendpoint Gacha, the server already decides what you get. It doesn't matter if you skip. So you know how so if you pay attention to my rolls in a little bit here once I'm done finishing feeding all these craft essences, but if you pay attention to your rolls, whenever you hit the multi-roll button, you'll notice that on the bottom right the game gives you a connecting screen. That connecting screen is your device communicating with the server, and that's the time when the server decides what it wants to give you. So by the time your device starts playing the roll animations, right? So for example, when I hit the multi-roll on the Friendpoint summons, right? On the bottom right, you'll see the loading and the connecting, and then you'll see the animations and whatnot, but you can skip through it just fine. That's because the server already decides what you're gonna get beforehand. So you skipping through the animations or whatever doesn't mean shit. It doesn't change anything, because what you get from a roll is already decided. Your fate is already decided. How bad is getting 3 SRs and 150 sand quartz and 30 or so tickets? You know, honestly, given how badly things could have gone, I'd say your luck is pretty decent. You got something. That's true, Holdelino. That's true. The problem is that's a really slow process, and most people don't have the patience for that. So, you're not wrong. It's just like, why would you do that when you have Hercules, or when you have Heracles? Can you make a guide for NA 2020? What the fuck is NA 2020? You mean a roadmap? A year-wide roadmap? Why the fuck would I do that? You already have other people who do that already. Yeah, exactly, RBR. Everything in this game is predetermined. Like, not everything, but yeah, at the very least, your drops. Your drops are all predetermined, either from a free quest or from the gacha. So once you load into a quest, or you hit that multi button. An assassin in the Nightless City. Wu, is she any good though? Yeah, Wu is very good. Once she gets her MP interlude, I believe she gets she has the highest base damage, base MP damage for any single target assassin in the game. Maybe there's like a 5-star, maybe against 5 stars that she might not be, but definitely compared to any of her 4-star, her fellow 4-star single target assassins, she has the highest base damage post the interlude buff. She also has a very good quick buff, because her third skill is both a quick buff and a charisma for everybody but herself. So, in case you have some strong, some strong quick AOE servants like, Lancelot or Berserker Lancelot, or Tomacat if you want to use her, or who else? Fran. Wu is a very good, I guess, quote-unquote budget quick support. So, Wu is definitely a solid pick. Rolling for a second MP5 Angry Mango? No, you don't understand. No. Hold up, bro. You don't understand. That was already my second MP5 Mango. I believe you do lack some critical information. I don't know, Noah Yuki. Why don't you go roll 520 Saint Quartz and tell me what you get? Yes, Umu. Yep. I did hear Shigure got a retro. I'm hoping that it makes her top tier, because I know sometimes retrofits that some boats get put them in top tier. Like I think York recently got her retrofit, and she's now she's now like one of the best heavies in the game. When I last checked the tier list, she's like maybe like tier 1, tier 2, something like that. It was, or maybe she was only tier 3. I don't know. But Either way, now York is extremely good now, with now that she's gotten retro. So my hope is that Shigure kind of gets the same treatment. We'll see though. Is retrofit and boats similar to a rank up in FGO? Not really, not really. Retrofitting is like a step up of leveling up. It's like the whole breaking. I'ma break these handcuffs meme, or this is to go even further beyond. Because not only do you improve their stats with retros, but they get a whole new CG. Their rarity goes up by 1, even for SSR boats in that game. Because there is a tier above super rare, which is like the SSR in that game, and it's called UR or ultra rare. And instead of a gold border, which is usually the highest background border, they get a rainbow one instead. And Sandy's currently our only ultra rare boat. And she is bar none the best cruiser in the game, or one of the best at least. So retro is like it's not exactly the same as leveling up. It is in a way, but it's like they're ascending. They're ascending even further beyond. Sometimes though, some retros aren't really that useful, but some of them are absolutely fantastic. But yes, I'm looking forward to Shigure's retro. I mean, she was already fairly decent before, but I think she's like tier 4 last time I checked, but not what people would really consider top tier. So I'm hoping that this retro makes her top tier. Is there any SSR and friend points? No. Why would they let you roll SSRs and friend points? If that were the case, what the fuck would be the point of rolling quartz scotches? No, you can't get any SSRs from a friend point gacha, unfortunately. It would be nice, I'm sure, but who's better DPS between Saberlaw and Fran Saber? Probably Saberlot, honestly. Cause let's see. He does have 2 arts cards. He has a 2A 2B deck setup, and he's all about crits. So he's gonna be doing lots of crit damage, and because he's critting a lot, you're probably gonna use his arts cards a lot too. So that means that his MP gain is like extremely good, which means that you can keep using his MP over and over. So in the long run, probably Saberlot, but burst damage wise, probably Saberfriend. Saberlot is more consistent. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. What's the best way to make CE bombs? Go roll millions of friend points and get 6 two-star craft essences to level 55, and take all 6 of those and shove them into a max limit broken 5-star CE of your choice. and boom, instant Super CE. Batteries not included. Just started playing Girls Frontline, but I feel like I've hit a small wall. It's gonna take a lot of real life time until I can do anything. Is Azure Lane different? No, no, honestly, it's not. Girls Front, as somebody, here's the thing, Pepsi Gamer. As a guy who plays both FGO or FGO, what the fuck, Azure Lane and Girls Frontline. I've mentioned repeatedly that I play both of those games. And in fact, you can see me farming boats right now. They're very similar games in terms of a lot of their mechanics and game like system mechanics and shit like that. Like they've got a lot of similarities. Almost a little bit too many. To the point where you think that they were by the same company, but they're different developers. But that being said, they're very similar games. So both, I mean, this applies to really any gacha game that's out there probably. But if you're in a position where you feel like you've kind of hit a wall where it's gonna take a while before you can really like get anywhere with your account, you're probably gonna run into the same thing with boats too. Because I know what that feels like. I've been through that. I've been through that exact same position too when I first started out. Because I played both Boats and Girls Frontline day one, when both of those games first came out on the very first day. I wasn't a closed beta tester or anything, but I did play as soon as both games were available to the public. So going through both of those games, I can tell you with full confidence that there's definitely a point in the game where you're like, okay, I know what to do, but I can't do it because like just your account limits you because your account is just not strong enough, and you have to wait until your account gets a little bit stronger over time before you can be like, okay, now I can do whatever I want, or I can I've got an agenda that I wanna fulfill, and now I can do it because my account is strong enough. No, if you're looking to boats because you want to avoid that, you're not gonna avoid it. Simple as that. You're just not. And in fact, I'd say boats is even more restrictive than Girls Frontline because chances are, because of the SSR rates in boats compared to Girls Frontline, you're gonna end up with a lot more SSR boats a lot more quickly, and a lot of the resources and stuff like that, they're really simplified, which means that you'll run into resource blocks a lot more often. Like with Girls Frontline, it's easy to accrue resources and then just use them for like grind runs, right? Because I think Girls Frontline we have a 50% XP bonus event going on right now. But in Azure Lane, it's very easy to not be oil efficient and then just burn through all your oil in like a matter of hours if you're not careful. So. And the faster you run out of oil, the less you can play. So no, if you like I said, if you're looking to boats because you want to avoid the kind of like the dead period in on your account on Girls Frontline, you're gonna run the exact same thing if you start that game. I mean, give boats a try anyway, see if you like it. Because there's a lot of similarities, like at least not in terms of gameplay, but in terms of like system mechanics. Like both Girls Frontline and Boats have like the logistics system. Girls Frontline calls it what is it? Logistics. Azure Lane calls them commissions, but they're essentially the same thing. You just go about it differently. You know, a lot of the whale shit, the if you want to buy shit with real money, a lot of that stuff is pretty similar. Like they both give you like a monthly pass or something like that. Though I think the one in boats is better technically, and yeah, just a lot of stuff, and especially like account progression. Like obviously the gameplay is different, but how you go about progressing your account and making your account stronger is very similar. You'll definitely see the similarities if you try them. But give both a shot anyway. It's a fun game. At least to me. I know some people don't like it because like, oh, you just play on auto. I don't like auto games. It's like whatever, bro. Just give it a shot at the very least. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That's fair, but you can give it a shot. You might like the waifus. Boats is mainly a waifus game anyway, so might as well, right? Watched your video on Okita saying how we should prioritize attack and HP, and looking at back in Naruto was one summary senior with the 18.6k HP. By that point, it's a little bit unnecessary, because what's your Okita gonna do with 18.6k HP? So generally speaking, super skills attack stats are generally more important. Both of them are very important, to be fair, because I have a video. I'm working on a video right now where I mentioned that both the health and attack ratings are both important. And while attack ratings are generally the attack stat that you want to favor in terms of like how to improve it and whatnot, as long like your attack rating doesn't matter if they're dead, right? So health is still very important at the end of the day. However, that being said, generally speaking, you want to improve their attack rating instead. Because the higher, imagine if you could get your Okita instead of her having like what 18.6k HP. Imagine how much damage she would do if she had 18.6k attack rating, raw attack rating. That would be bonkers. Because by that point, she would fucking obliterate people. And if you make a super Okita where you grail her, you give her max foes, you start feeding her gold foes, you give her a super seed that gives her like what, an extra 2,000 attack or something. Maybe you might just be able to reach that. Like at least you should be able to clear like 16k easily if you do that. And by that point, she'll just be decking people. So generally speaking, while health is very important. Obviously, you want to focus on attack rating more. The only reason why you would want to focus on HP rating instead is if for some reason like there's like a challenge quest or like a story fight where HP actually matters more than your attack because you need to stall her or some shit. I don't know. I mean, there might be something like that in the future. I don't know, but generally you want to focus on attack more because you still need in most cases you still need to kill your enemy in order to beat the quest, right? So just going off that logic. Actually, why wasn't I leveling up this dude? So chat, don't re-at me, but I'm going to burn my foes because I literally ran out of servants who can use them. So I have no choice but to burn the foes. So I apologize ahead of time. Forgive me, chat, for I have sinned. Like my archers, I even max foed my second Nobunaga because why not? Because I'll just show you just in case you guys don't believe me because I see chat reeing at me already, which is fair, which is fine. But if I go to my archers, I have everybody max foed. So my first Nobu is 1,000 out of 1,000. My second Nobu also 1,000 out of 1,000. So by this point, it's like, well, what do I even do with them? So I have no choice but to burn them. I'm sorry, chat. Whale problems. My bad. My bad, dude. I didn't choose the whale life. The whale life chose me. You auto burn your foes? You shouldn't do that. I'm working on a video right now that explains the importance of friend points, and I spend a good few minutes explaining why you shouldn't auto burn your foes. Don't be that guy. I'll explain why you don't want to do that right now, just because you guys are here and it's kind of relevant right now. But you don't want to auto burn your foes. The only things that I think are acceptable to auto burn from your front point rolls are the embers, like the bronze embers. Like, yeah, who gives a fuck about them, right? You have gold embers for that shit, and then you can burn your silver, auto burn your silver embers too, because most people still need more mana prisms. So any silver XPs they can get from front point Gacha obviously will help, but those are the only things that you should auto burn. Everything else you should keep. Like, if you pay attention to my auto burning, you'll notice that I only have the XPs selected and nothing else. So I get all the foes, I get all the Cs. Is there any point to having two Nobus? No, there's absolutely no point, because this game won't let you take two of the exact identical servant. Have I tried out E7? Nope. No interest in doing so either. Yeah, exactly, RBR. Only auto burn the XP. Everything else you want to keep. And the reason why you don't want to auto burn your foes or your CEs is because your foes increase your servants' stats directly. Like, all the servants in this game, you can enhance their stats directly using foes by up to 1,000, and once they hit 1,000, you then unlock the option to start feeding them gold foes to take their stats even further beyond that point, up to a maximum of 2k. Though for gold foes, you should only use them on your waifus or your husbandos. Ideally, your grail targets. If you use them on anyone who you didn't grail, you're an actual dumbass. Well, not really a dumbass. You're free to do whatever you want, but still, you're a dumbass. But back on topic. You want to keep all your foes, because you might think like, oh well, usually I only get like 1-star foes, 2-star foes. Occasionally, what we'll get like occasionally I'll get like a 3-star foe, and yeah, that gives plus 50. Like, yeah, that's obviously pretty important. But even still, I don't want to deal with foes. Usually they're trash when you get them anyway, because they're only plus 10 or plus 20, and yada yada yada. Whatever, excuses to be fucking lazy. I don't give a shit. You want to keep them, you want to use them. And the reason why is because foes are what allow you to enhance your servants, basically make them better servants for free. Yes, it'll take a long time, because usually you're not going to get like 3-star foes kind of like this one all the time. Usually they're just like 1 or 2 stars. So yeah, and also you need friend points. Like, obviously nobody has millions of friend points like a fucking dirty whale like the one you're watching right now. But that being said, like, think about it. Every day you can roll friend points for free every day without any, cost to your friend point stockpile. Every day at daily reset, which is in 20 minutes now for us. So every day you get to roll friend points once for free. And, a lot of you guys, if you guys are playing events and you guys aren't really rolling Gacha, and if there's a 3-star CE that's tied to the event, they're usually in front point Gacha, right? So normally you guys are saving up front points to roll those, right? And you'll obviously roll a lot of front points during those, and you'll be getting a lot of foes and a lot of 1-star Cs along the way too. And if you all start auto burning those, like, that's just free enhancement levels, free stats. You're just fucking Thanosing, because you're like, oh, I'm too lazy to fucking give my servants enhancements. Like, why should I bother with that, right? So it's just free. It's free enhancement levels. It's free stats that you could be giving your servant, but you're not, because you're a fucking lazy asshole. Also, this dubstep remix is actually really good. Let me listen to it again. It's free status state, Kappa. No, but like memes aside, yeah, that's basically what it is. It's free stats. Like it's free stats you're not taking advantage of because, again, you're just a lazy asshole, and you don't want to put in the time and effort into this game. If you're just a casual, player, then okay, fine, fair enough. But like you do whatever you want with your account. But if you're somebody who's watching my stream or who watches YouTube videos about FGO, chances are you're not exactly a casual. Like you might be free to play, sure, but if you're at the point where you're watching fucking YouTube videos and live streams of people playing FGO, whatever they're doing. In my case, is rolling front points like a fucking degen. You probably care about your account a little bit more than your average casual player, right? So by that point, why not take the extra step and make sure you make the most use out of your front point rolls? Make sure you put your foes to use. Put your 1-star and 2-star trash front point Cs to use. Make some craft essence bombs out of that. Like again, I understand it's pretty time consuming, it's pretty tedious, but if you care about your account at all, you'll want to do that. I don't burn anything from the front point gacha. Yeah, exactly. You're doing God's work. Are foes in Da Vinci shop worth getting? There are a lot of mana prisms. They are, but if mana prisms are a concern, then probably prioritize tickets first. Like always battle the tickets. Like obviously, that's just a no-brainer. Just take tickets first, and then if you have mana prisms lying around left to spare, then yeah, sure, go buy out the XP packs. Go buy the foes too if you want to. The foes are important, but they're not as high of a priority as say the tickets are for the average player. Are silver XPs always worth burning? Generally speaking, yes. Because if you're a free-to-play player, or let's put it this way, if you're not a whale, let's put it that way. If you're not a whale, then usually you're probably gonna want more mana prisms at any time, right? So yeah, and given that silver embers give you 1 mana prism, because you already have gold embers, right? You can farm gold embers from either the 40 AP ember daily or something else, and you can just use those to level up your servants and stuff. So because gold embers are a thing, you can just use silver XPs as like pure mana prism fodder. So the only reason why you would ever want to use silver XPs as actual experience, realistically speaking, is if you for some reason have way too many mana prisms than you know what to do with. Like, let's say for example, you happen to have mana prisms that tally up into the hundreds of thousands, then yeah, by that point might as well just use silver embers as actual XP. But again, you're not a dirty fucking whale like the one you're watching right now, so you probably don't have hundreds of thousands of mana prisms just lying around doing absolutely fucking nothing. So in that case, then yeah, use your silver embers as actual experience. But most other times, for most of you guys, this situation that I'm talking about is not relevant. So you just burn your silver embers. Friend points? Is this a new drug the kids these days are doing? Not really, because how often do you see people rolling friend points on stream? Why are CE bombs so good? The reason why they're so good is, let me demonstrate to you right now. So the reason why CEs are so good is because down here, you see one of these cheer Cs that I got lying around? I want to use these as craft essence bombs later on. But I need to get them to level 100 first. So what do? So you'll see that I have, I'll just unlock these 6 first. So you see that I've got I've got 6 2-star craft essences that are all level 55. They're all max level. What happens if I select all of them? The art in this game is pretty good. Yeah, yeah. It's got very good art. Also, I just realized that my boats window is blocking the cheer CE, so take a look at Bryn's delicious thighs. So, in case you guys didn't know, if you level 6 2-star CEs to max, you can take a single SSR CE from level 15, which is their default level if you limit break it normally. You can take it straight to level 100, and you only waste a little bit of XP at the end. It's almost perfect, I think. It's damn near perfect XP gain for your SSR CE. So, this is why CE bombs are pretty good. Been using 1-star Cs. You can do the same with 1-star Cs if you want. Like, you can do either with 1, 2, or 3-star. It doesn't matter which one. It's just that the lower rarity you go, the more QP you save. But it's by that point, when you're trying to compare 1 and 2-star Cs, by that point the QP gain you get for using 1-star Cs is pretty minimal. So by that point, it's just up to personal preference. But 1-star Cs do still work. I believe the number is 8. You need 8 level 50 1-star Cs in order to fully level to take a max limit broken SSR C straight to level 100. But this is why CE bombs are important. Is because you can instantly level a really strong 5-star CE like this. And you know, normally if you know, if you could only get like 5-star craft essences from like the Gacha, maybe it wouldn't matter to most people so much, right? Because it's like, oh, you know, only the whales are going to have the really strong 5-star craft essences because they're only limited Gacha and whatnot. But that's not true in this game. In FGO, we have events where they give us really strong welfare CEs. You know, we have Sumo, we have Holy Night Dinner. Unfortunately, you can't get Sumo anymore because Onigashima is already done and dusted. But we have one more chance of getting Holy Night Dinner. That's a really good CE. 50% charge when limit broken, and gives you 15% MP damage and crit damage, which is always nice. Halloween 3 will have aerial drive, which is basically a better sunrise in a lot of cases. Which is 50% charge, 10% buster damage, and 10% MP damage all together if you limit break it, and that's welfare. Halloween rerun, which is coming up, we get what is it? Ellie Chan's Adventure, I think it is. Pretty sure I still have that here somewhere. Where is it? Yeah, this one. We get this, and this is 15% buster card effectiveness and MP 25% MP damage, which is, you know, if you don't have like another strong offensive buster option, this is great. Just you need to get their MPs charged first, but you know, assuming you can do that, this is great. It's an all attack CE because as you'll notice all the stats are in attack, and this is also another welfare CE that you can get for free. So because FGO has these options where you can get really powerful 5-star craft essences essentially for free, craft essence bombs then become relevant to everybody because now everybody has a chance to get super CEs. You know? That's why they're really important. Aerial drive is not better on Drake than Sunrise. Well, obviously it doesn't apply to Drake, but what about Kintoki? Berserker Kintoki. And remember what I said, John, because sometimes I know my chat doesn't listen to me exactly, or kind of have knee-jerk reactions to what I say. I said, what did I say again? I don't even remember. I said aerial drive is better than sunrise in a lot of situations. I didn't say it's always better. So, kind of a knee-jerk reaction there, John. But I do understand where you're getting at. But anyways, point is, craft essence bombs are really important. You should do them. Because it's either you do that or you level up your SSRCs directly, and nobody wants to do that. Unless you're intentionally trying to burn off a lot of QP at once, which, what are you, some kind of whale? You'd be surprised, Dark Paladin. You'd be surprised. There's still a lot of plebs in JP. How's the bow farming going? It's going pretty well. Pretty well. Is there a guide for Halloween 3? I'm sure people are going to be working on it. You don't have long to wait. I'm sure Soberoni and the others are working on it as we speak. Senile sniper. Sometimes I do feel like an old man, even though I'm clearly not. MP5 Mango, here we go. Chat, he lacks critical information. If you have less than 5 copies of Event C, should you keep the 4, burn 3, or feed the one, feed 3 to the one left? Well, it depends on the context. If those CEs are for an event that comes back because it has a rerun in the future, obviously maybe you should try to keep them because they'll be relevant a second time. If the reruns already happened and you know the event will never come back, then, you know, just do whatever you want with it. Because remember, limit breaking a craft essence still increases its level cap, so maybe you might not be able to get, if it's like a super good CE, maybe you might not be able to, you know, limit break it and get its limit broken effects anymore, but, you know, if it's still a solid CE, what you can do is just limit break it and then level it up so it gives you more stats, which is just as important, if not more. How many mangoes so far? 10. Why do you make 2-star CE bombs instead of 3? This is the reason why. Hold on, give me a second. See this level 15 SSRC? Watch what happens when I decide to give it 6 CE bombs. Why does a 1-star difference double the cost for each skill level? Because rarer servants, higher rarity servants just cost more. I mean, that's just how any game works, right? You have rarer stuff, they cost more. Show legs. Don't you have your own cheer CE for this? Would you give it 6 or would you give it less to possibly get a greater super suck? That doesn't matter here. That doesn't matter. When you get a super or a great suck, what the game does is it only doubles or triples the amount of XP per individual card. It doesn't double or triple the amount of XP in the entire craft essence. So if, for example, I get a great or super suck using these CE bombs, the only extra XP I'll get out of them is double the original cards or double the card's original XP value. So let's say, for example, I didn't use all of them, right? So I only use like 3. So if I only use 3, it only takes the C up to level 79. If I get a super suck, it will not go up to 100. It'll just stay at 79 because you're not doubling the amount of craft essence experience in the bomb. You're only doubling the craft essence experience for the CE bomb's original XP value. So when you make craft essence bombs, you don't care if you get a super suck or a great suck or whatever. It doesn't work like that. So it doesn't matter. If you're using craft essence bombs, you don't need to worry about that. Just feed them all, kind of like this, and just get it over with. It doesn't matter if you get a super or great suck, because you're not going to see any difference anyway. Hey, Actor Mercury, welcome back. Yeah, I can't even say, I don't know how to even pronounce your name. Nilo. I'll just call you Lol. I'll just call you a Nai, because that's the most distinctive part of your name. But yeah, you can use 8 1-star Cs instead, if you don't want to do 6 2-stars. That's fine too. E-bomb Cs for utility or for the waifu art? For utility. Always for utility. If I wanted a waifu art, I can just go to Pixit for that. Was I able to open up all my boxes? Yes. I have no more petals left. My final count is About 1014. Is it really QP efficient? Well, go level your 5-star Cs directly. In fact, I'll demonstrate it for you. So if I want to level up a 5-star C, let's say for example Bryn. So every time I use one-star craft essence to level up my 5-star craft essence, it's taking what, 936 QP. Compare that with a 2-star C. It only takes 599. It's about half as much. So over time, it's a little over half as much. Or not quite half as much. It's probably like roughly 40% cheaper, something like that. But it's about 40% cheaper. So that adds up quickly over time. That only really applies though if you're kind of like you're doing what I'm kind of doing right now and rolling a lot of friend points at once and leveling up a lot of CEs at once. Then doing this, you'll see the QP saving that you can do. But if it's only like little by little, you're probably not going to notice it. What other CE should I level other than Golden Sumo? Any CE that you that you know you're gonna be using a lot. If you have scopes, get those to level 100. Those are top priority. If you have limit broken scopes, if you're lucky enough to have one. Other than that, maybe a Black Grail, maybe a Victor. Preco, you don't need to have max level. I just know that I'm gonna use them a lot myself anyway, so I've gotten them to max level myself. Basically, it's either scope or any 50% chargers. Those are your best options, essentially. So Holding Night Dinner, First Sunrise, Partake, Miyu CE, Scope obviously, Sumo, anything like that. And then Aerial Drive coming up pretty soon. You don't need to get Demonic Bodhisattva to level 100. I just kind of did that for the memes, and just in case it might become useful one day, but you don't need to do that. Also, please show your support setup. This is my current setup. No cute orange. I mean, if you want to level that up, if that's one of your better Cs that you have, then sure, you can level that up. How good would you say Before Awakening is? It's actually not bad. It's actually rather decent, but generally I would probably go with something else. Like that's a good C if you literally don't know what else to give your C your server, and you're just like whatever, just use something. Do you keep at least one of every CE? Well, I tried doing that, and then I ran out of CE space, so I started having to delete some of my 3-stars. What system am I playing FGO on? iPad 6th gen. Is Suzuka good for farming? She's an AoE Saber with a mana burst, so sure. Why scope on Cage? Because I had literally nothing else to give him. And who knows, maybe someone's trying to fucking farm those fucking manticore things in Babylonia, you know? You like starting NPCs on supports than just a damaging one? Well, yeah, that's the reason why I have a lot of scopes and Holy Night Dinners, Sumo, and First Sunrise on everybody. You know, support list? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The only exceptions are when I put up like the Mana Prism Shop C. So, for example, lunchtime, the personal lesson and personal training. Why is personal lesson on Kiara? My support list wants my friends list wants personal lesson, I think it is, on extra slot. Why don't you equip a DaVinci CE on Drake? Because if you have a friends list full of whales, chances are they're not hurting for QP, especially not after a lottery event. In fact, it used to be a running gag where we would put Mona Lisa on our assassin slot instead. Kind of like this. And people would be like, oh, why are you giving your assassin fucking Mona Lisa? It's because, well, you put your support in the backline so they don't get attacked, and you just 3-turn the doors with your own servants. That's why. What does it matter if you have an assassin with Mona Lisa when you're not even gonna use them, right? But it's half AP doors. Yeah, imagine farming doors right after a fucking lottery event. Yeah, exactly, Supertron Bob. It's like just 3-turn on your own. How hard is that? What are some good servers for 3-turning doors? Literally anybody literally any AoE writer. The rich people jokes. Yeah, but it's like, well, it's like, really, they're just doors. Do you really need to rely on a support? Because if you need to rely on a support to do doors, you have bigger problems that you need to be dealing with other than who you've got Da Vinci on, buddy. But at the moment, no one needs Da Vinci, so I'm giving Son scope. Yeah, you use more to surf doors, easy, 3-turn easy, like super easy, dude. You spent 600 million. At the very least, you have a legitimate reason to be farming doors, Blue Nero. So, in that case, I understand. I'm talking about the people who don't fucking farm the lotto and start farming doors because, hey, it's half AP, guys. But at least I know you've farmed the lottery, and you've put that QP to good use. So good on you. You're doing it right. I'm more. My whole imagine them farming doors after lottery was more directed towards the people who are fucking lazy assholes and are like, oh, it's a lottery event. What the fuck do I need that for? And then right after lottery comes out, oh hey guys, this is half AP doors. Let's go fucking do that shit. Can never have too much QP. No, you can't. You always need more QP. And P5 Suzuka, I'll probably give her Lords because I just like her and I just like her that much. I may even grail her depending. What do you mean I can't get enough fluffy tails? You can't attack me like that. I need lots of QP for Merlin and Nero. As long as you did farm the lotto as much as you could, right? Like, I understand if you need more QP, right? Like, as long as you were able to farm the lottery a lot and you were able to put the QP you got from them to good use, and you still need more, then yeah, sure, half AP doors, go for it. At the end of the day, you need what you know. If you need something, you go for it, right? So, you do you, buddy. It's just, you know, again, like I said, like I'm repeating myself 3 times over now. It's just, I'm more complaining about the people who don't farm lottery, and they're like, oh my god, I need more QP, and they start farming half AP doors, where it's like, we just got a freaking lottery, you dumbass. But yeah, if you've already farmed the lottery, and you still need more, then fair enough. Yeah. Good for you. Good for you. Do I have something for Neko Mimis? I thought I didn't. I thought I didn't. Turns out tails are kind of cute. I also really like dogs and cats. IRL. I've never been able to own one myself, and I don't think I'll be able to own one for a long time. But you know, every time whenever I take like walks around in the park or something, lots of people come by with their dogs. Sometimes some crazy people bring their cats too, but mostly it's just dogs. But you know, I like seeing dogs. I like seeing cats. They're cool. What's my favorite breed of dog? That's a hard question, actually. I actually don't know. I feel like I'm obligated to say Shiba Inus because Doges! Wow. Such Doge. Very concerned. Hello, friend. Do you have chicken nugs? But no, I actually do like Shiba Inus a lot. Shiba Inus, Huskies. Any more tips? What kind of tips are you looking for, dog person? Speaking of dogs. Okay, we're done with that. Tips where you buy us Saint Quartz? Yeah, in your fucking dreams. Whoa there, calm down, Nero. You getting another migraine there or some shit? I can put you out of your misery if you want me to. Just anything, really? Anything? It's kind of general. You can't put the pressure on me like that. I don't know where to start. About 95% for Rune, so close. Yeah, her skin's gonna come out in 2 days. Or tomorrow night, technically, so better get on it. Would it be a good idea to level Saber's instinct for its buff? I mean, since we know we're gonna get it, sure. And plus, it's a battery, so why not? You gonna make a similar preparation video for Christmas farming? Yes, that's the plan. I kind of wonder, this isn't towards you, Juan Echo, in particular, it's just in general, I wonder why a lot of people are asking me that. Like, why are you asking me this? Like, I even said in the video itself that I made for Neurofest, like, hey, you know, I'll probably make them one for Christmas too. It's like I clearly said at the end of the video. Do people not listen to that one part? It's because I put it at the very end, so everyone just skips the end, and no one gives a fuck, or no one just heard it or something. I don't know. Just kind of weird that I keep having people come into the stream and be like, oh, are you gonna make another video kind of like you did on Neurofist for Christmas, when I clearly said I would, or that I tried to at the very least. In the video itself, it's like, okay. Why do you buy your discounted gift cards? Mainly off Costco. Mainly at Costco. Mainly at Costco. There are some sales online. Like, I know eBay sometimes has 15% off codes that you can buy up to 3 with per account. So if you wanted to be really insane, what you could do is you could set up like a ton of Amazon accounts and order 3 codes off each one whenever they do 15% off iTunes gift codes. It's either that or basically any deal that I can find. It's mainly those two though. Mainly Costco and then the occasional eBay sale whenever that pops up. Costco sells discounted gift cards. It's always at least 5% off. Because when you walk into Costco and check out their iTunes shelf or whatever that they've got going on there, it's always 95 for 100. So it's always 5% off no matter what. And then from time to time they'll take off $10 off that, so total you're saving 15%. And during Black Friday they take off another 5% or another $5, and so total you're saving 20% per. So you're only paying 80 for every 100 in code you buy. You probably forgot to tell them to subscribe and hit the subscribe button, or hit the bell button. What the fuck's the bell button? Or the follow button? Whatever that fucking shit is. Nah, I don't need to. I'm not a fucking sellout. I'm not a shill. At least not right now. I have no need to be. I really don't like telling people to do that shit. Mainly because I think it's total fucking cancer that that's what it's come down to these days. Costco pizza, best pizza. Hey man, the Costco food court or cafeteria, whatever or whatever you want to call it, some of the best just some of the best deals you can get. Because what? A drink is literally less than $1, right? It's like 60 something cents, so 70 cents. And then a slice of pizza, which is a really big slice, by the way, and sometimes they even give you 2, just depending on where you go. Or maybe they just give you 1, either they give you 1 or 2 slices, and they give you 2, it's like basically 2 put together, and it's basically one big giant slice. But pizza slices are what, like $1.40, something like that? $1.40, $2. It's very cheap, and the pizza quality itself, for how cheap it is actually very decent. It's actually really good. And what, like total, like I'd go to Costco and I'd buy what, a pepperoni slice, a combo slice, and a drink, and the bill comes up to you less than $5 still. Like, where else can you go? Where you can buy 2 slices of pizza and a drink, and the bill still comes up to be less than $5. Yeah, exactly. They're losing money on the food because the Costco membership itself is what pays for it. A lot of the time, Costco membership every year pays for a lot of shit, And in fact, you don't even need a membership just to buy from the food court, because a lot of Costco's that I've been to, they oftentimes they have their food courts like outside the actual building itself. It's like an outdoor eating area. So you don't even need a a membership. You just walk in, or you just walk up to the food court if you're hungry, like if you want to stop by for lunch or something, and just walk up, pay, and that's it. You get your food. It's pretty cool. You don't even need a membership for that. Yeah, exactly. You're just doing it as a courtesy, which is cool. Which is cool. And that's why people love going to Costco. Have you already limit broken new ships? No, not yet. We're still working on that. I've got all my pasta boats just passively leveling up in Dorm right now, because I'm using other boats to farm at the moment. The Costco stream. Yeah, I can see that being a problem, an unfortunate side effect, Rhino, but at the end of the day, it's cheap food. It benefits everybody. Would you rather see an alter ego or Avenger in extra slot? I don't care. Because for all intents and purposes, the extra slot is basically useless. Like, I have no need to use the extra slot for the most part anyway. Like, if I need an extra slot for like a particular reason, I'll probably just, hit up one of the whales on my support list over on Discord or something and be like, hey, can you put, so and so up on your extra slot, and they'll do it for me. Generally, anyway. Is there any reason to keep your 2 copies of Non-Limit Broken Cheer from the event? Not really. I assume those are extra copies that you got, and I assume that you already have a Limit Broken copy of one. So you can just you can just use those. You can just use those extra non-Limit Broken, your regular copies for CEXP. Don't burn them. Actually, I need to get rid of some of these foes. Let's go to Lancer. Yeah, exactly, exactly. I have more than 6,000 mana prisms. You have 4 rare mana prisms. Thinking of buying 5-star personal training from MASH, from MP Shop. Do you recommend buying it? Personal training. Which one was personal training again? It was the one that that increased your master XP, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's not a bad option. Yeah. Yeah. I would say so. If you're okay with buying it. Because remember, you have to unlock it first from Rare Mana Prison Shop, and then use another 5,000 Mana Prisms to buy it out, which I assume you already knew, because you mentioned how many Mana Prisms you have. So, if you're kind of at a low Master level, and you feel like, oh, I need to catch up here a little bit for whatever reason, yeah, helps, definitely. Your streams are breaking off a little bit. OBS has only dropped a couple of frames at the beginning, so it must be on your end, Penguin. I'm thinking it's a bit on your end. Oh, wait, hold on, not Paracelsus, what the fuck? Why does X0 call Paracelsus Paracelsus? Am I just saying his name wrong? No, it's Paracelsus. Why does X0 call him Paracelsus? The fuck? I've always wondered that. Being completely fine here, yeah. Because he drops the S? Why though? Is it supposed to be dropped? I don't know. Paracelsus is his name seems German. Paracelsus von Hohenheim. It seems German, so maybe German pronunciation has like a silent somewhere where that I'm just not aware of. But unless that's the case, like why drop the S? I mean, I guess it might. If you drop the S, it becomes easier to say because it's Paracelsus. You don't have to make the S sound after cell, because Paracelsus is more effort to say. But I don't know. I don't know about that one, Chief. What am I doing? Is Wu already max mode? Yeah, she is. Now we move on to this dude. German doesn't drop constants that much, so yeah, it's it should be like Paracelsus, right? Well, or however the proper German pronunciation is. I need to go back to my burn tab, make sure I disable Fous. How good is Mephistopheles? He's a meme. Let's call him Perry then, yeah. That's what I call him half the time. Just Perry. Quad. Doitsu no kago wa sekaiichi. Yeah. Fister has a few niche uses, but they're not really going to come up that much. So, usually you don't really have a reason to use them. I just started the game and got Merlin. Is he any good? I have a feeling you didn't just start the game. You know exactly how good he is, but fair enough. Yeah, he's good. Just wanted to know why you never see him anymore on YouTube. Yeah, it's because his utility is really weird, and the times that come up that you would actually use his utility in are very wonky. So that's why you don't really see him much. You can definitely use him, especially as a meme, if you just want to, you know, fuck around a little bit. Because his buff block skill is actually hilarious, because you just put that in somebody and they just waste their turns just trying to buff themselves 3 times in a row, and they just end up doing absolutely nothing. You just kind of sit there and laugh, which is very appropriate for somebody like Fister. Complete troll, and that's what he does. Who do you recommend for the free 4-star? My personal recommendation is to my personal recommendations, plural, are Lalter, Helena, Nitocris, Fran, or Berserker Lancelot. Or if none of those interest you very much, go for a story lock. Is Organ worth keeping? If she's the only Avenger you have, then sure, yeah. What are you doing with the front point gacha? Rolling trash CEs to use for CE leveling. That's it. Edward Scissorhands. I mean, sure, if you want to call him that. Hey, Alec, what's going on, man? They could be better, but the chill stream's been great so far. So yeah. I'll go for a server you like a lot. Yeah, sure, that works too. I know Fino called people going for a waifu or a husbando picks dumbasses, but you know, it's your account, it's your game. At the end of the day, you do what you want. When does Salieri come out next year? Why not set up a macro? A macro for something like this? You're out of your goddamn mind. Do you have an Angry Mango MP5? Try doubling that and you've got your answer. Next time for a Rider of the Resistance. Probably a class only banner? Like one of those class summoning banners where you can only summon from one particular class a day. Either that or maybe Chaldea Boys during Chaldea Boys next year after Valentine's. Those would be my guesses. So about a year, more or less. Or like 6 months. So like half a year. What command codes are best on Dante's? Bruh, do you think this is a JP stream? I don't know, I think you should go ask Razor that. Is Salter a bad pick if you don't have any Saber? She's only a bad pick if you ended up rolling her while rolling from Merlin. Cause if you try rolling from Merlin and you end up getting Salter, well, you already got a Salter, right? So you can switch your free 4-star to somebody else. Look at all these CE bombs, chat. My collection is growing. So 10. I need 2 more for 2 maximum broken. Okay. This will make a fine addition to my collection of CEs, or of CE bombs. A fine collection, chat. Woo's voice can be a little bit irritating. With how high-pitched it is, I can definitely understand. Is Lancer Artoria good? Which one? The altar one or the regular one? Because they're both super good. What's your favorite CE? Probably Fox Wedding. The one with the 5-star one with Tamamo on it. If I were just talking about like pure aesthetics. If I was talking about utility, K-Scope. But you all saw that coming. Got MP4 Mango, thanks. You're welcome. I mean, not really too sure what you're gonna do with all those Mango copies, but sure. Saberlot a good boy? Yes, except for the time where he tried NTRing his own king. Actually, he did NTR his own king. What a fucker. What a fuckboy. How broken would altars be if they were all 5 stars with all the same skills? Oh, so basically if they were all Jalter, I know some people would like that. if the only Avenger you could roll in the game was Jalter. Yeah, I know some people would like that a lot. Does Scope look like a holographic card you see in a TCG? I don't really play TCGs, so I couldn't answer that. Hey Lucy, what's going on, man? Bro, don't say that. Not royal icing or a dangerous beast? Not really. Not really. If I wanted, you know, if I wanted a lewd art, if I wanted etchy, I would just go to either Pixiv or Sad Panda for that, because they got what I want. How many mangoes did you get from this stream? Just one. Just one so far. Bro, don't say that as old news. Is it really? I think I saw someone post that the other day. Maybe it was last week or so. It's been a while since I did last. It has been a while since I last seen you post that. So maybe it's an old meme, dead memes. What's your favorite Tamadojin? There's two by an artist named Wise Speak. You may have heard of him. He's not just two, but he's got multiple Tamadojins. He's a Tamafag too, which I like. But the Dojin where Tama tries live streaming on YouTube, how fitting. But she tries live streaming on YouTube about how to get a boyfriend, or tips for how to please your boyfriend. It turns into a cam show, which is hilarious. Bro, you can't say that. CE bombs, yes. All the bombs. The FBI is showing up to my door with how many bombs I'm making. Look at all these bombs. Be right back. Someone's knocking on my door. Some kind of uniformed guys outside my house, knocking on my front door, screaming the letters FBI. Bro, you can't say that. Royal icing? Not sure. Besides, royal icing is next year, not this year, isn't it? Because this year we get Dangerous Beast and the Nightingale CE. And royal icing is the one with Lalter on it. After all these CE bombs, will there be any relevant CEs you won't have at max? Well, I mean, I want to level up a lot of CEs, but I will have a lot of super CEs. Yes, that's just gonna happen. Yes. What event do we get this Halloween? We get the Dragon Quest parody rerun, and the new one is the Kaiju, the Godzilla parody. Aero Drive is this year, yes, in about a month. Any mangoes yet? Just one. But I did roll 2 over the weekend, so total he's at MP10 right now. Hey Marcos, welcome back. Oh god. How many points does it take to usually make a CE bomb? Anywhere from 2 to 3 million, depending on how many super sucks and great sucks you get. If you roll during a double or triple success rate up period, it takes you a little bit less than that. I would say maybe around 1.5 million to about maybe 2.5 million friend points. It's a bit less if you want to optimize your friend point gain or your friend points for a CE leveling. But typically it takes, without a CE rate, a success rate, it takes anywhere from 2 to 3 million. It's very expensive. You need a lot of friend points for that. Yeah, Zil, what's going on, man? How many friend points did you start out with? When I first started rolling friend points for CE bombs 2 days ago, I started with over 12 million friend points. And that was right after I was done rolling all 1,000 of my boxes. So I started with 12 million friend points, and I've already almost rolled half of it away. Yes, Azil, you're in the club. Oops. What'd you miss? What do you mean, what'd you miss? Nothing. Why did we... Another question that people always ask that I don't understand why they ask. What did I miss? What do you mean, what did you miss? If you see me doing something on stream, chances are I've probably been doing it for the last, like, fucking couple of hours already, right? Oh. But no, like, seriously, like, if you see me doing something on stream, chances are I've probably been doing nothing but that thing for the past good, you know, couple of hours. It's usually how the stream goes. Oops. Oh, okay, that's why. I was like wondering, like, wait a minute, why am I at the servant enhanced tab all of a sudden? Alright, Naz Ozzy. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one. How many angry mangoes did you get this stream? Just one. Can you surf caster daily? No, you can't. I don't think so anyway. Maybe you can, I'm not sure. Because the problem is with caster daily, aren't there like only 2 enemies? Did they change that? Are there 3 enemies now? If you have 3 enemies in both wave 1 and wave 2, then yeah, you can surf it. But if they don't, because last time I seriously did caster dailies, it only had 2 enemies on the first wave, which means that like you'd have to do some plug memes with in order to make surfing Mordred work. Only 1 mango spook so far. Get rid of these foes first. How many more servants do you have that you'll eventually grail? Currently working on Tomalancer. After that, I don't know. I'm still deciding. So we'll see. What about Tama Cat? I like Tama Cat, just not as much as Tama Caster or Lancer. Any future JP servants you're looking forward to getting? All of them. That's a 5-star Tama Nomaya. Well, they're both 5-star. Alright, take care, iCrew. Thanks for stopping by. I don't know about grailing Tomovich. I don't know. From what I see, so far, she seems like a royal fucking asshole. And like, I don't mind servants who are evil, but if you're an asshole, ugh. I mean, if you're evil, you're already kind of an asshole anyway. But like within you know, I guess I don't know if I can even say within reason by that point. I don't know. From what I hear, she does some pretty fucked up shit. So I'm not so sure. Like, I don't mind bad bitches. It's just some things I'm just not like. You really have to do that? Didn't think so. Like technically, Tama Caster is evil because she's neutral. Her alignment is neutral evil. So I don't mind bad bitches. Just the ones that go overboard, I kind of Monka W. Abigail or Hokusai? Hokusai. Not a fan of lollies, but you know, to each their own. Do I watch any FGO streamers or content creators? Yes. Absolutely. I regularly give people like Saber what the fuck? Soberoni from GNA Reviews shoutouts. Like, in a lot of my videos I name him directly and tell people to go check out his videos. I watch FGO streamers here on Twitch mainly. Sometimes I'll watch while watching an FGO stream on YouTube, but it's not as common. But yeah, I know most of them. I know or I've heard of most of them. Do you like watching people solo challenge quests? A long time ago I used to. But now that I understand how this game works, it's more interesting to me. It's more interesting to me seeing full team setups. Because what I love about this game is all the brainstorming and the big brain shit that you can come up with. Soloing is like, well, soloing is... The thing about soloing that I eventually learned over time is that, yeah, there's some thinking that you need to do going into a solo, but for the most part, it's just you go in there and see if you can do it or not. If you can, great. If not, oh well, just do it with somebody else. So, compared to using like full team setups that try to go for like quick kills or esports or FGO racing or whatever memes you can think of, they fall under. Like solo is just, I don't know. They were super cool to watch back 2 years ago when I didn't know as much about the game. But now that I know a fair deal more, it's more interesting to me watching videos where people bring in teams that use like some kind of gimmick or some shit like that to do something like for quick kills or whatever I just said. Like the 5-turn Da Vinci challenge quest clear from Neurofest the other week. Like that was super fun to watch, cause that team was super big brain. Like the Arash kill setup on during Neurofest, that was fun to do, even if it was super RNG. My luck stacked hard pulling it off, but solos are still nice. They're still fun to watch. It's just on a conceptual level. It's just the core of solos is, all right. Do I think this servant can solo it, and can I make it work? And you work towards trying to make it work. And it's either you do make it work, or you find, or you kind of figure out on your own that, hey, maybe this is kind of like impossible to do. And so you just go do it with somebody else. I guess my point is that there's not much like brainstorming going into a solo. I mean, there is some for sure, depending on which node you're doing or which quest you're doing. But I like the teams where like people sit down and be like, okay, let's put together this team in order to clear a challenge quest super fast. So what do we need to do in order to build? What kind of CEs do we need to bring? What kind of servants do we need to bring in order to pull that off? Like, I think that's more. I think figuring out like what each servant's role is, and what the role of each CE that is being used is far more interesting. Because you piece it together. I watch those teams and I piece together like, oh, okay, so they're using this person, they're using this servant for this reason, they're using that CE for that reason. They need to hit like a crit here. They need to get some good RNG here, then there, and shit like that. And it's just fun to watch those now. Seems like there's FGO royalty among players. The guy up in my work is of the opinion that anyone who came too late to the game is just out of luck as far as obtaining servants. There's a definite truth to that. Yeah, I agree, Eric, to a certain extent. Because I've mentioned before on stream that while I didn't use the term royalty, I did talk about something very similar, and that's that if you've been playing this game for a long time, the game favors you way more. Just straight up. Like, me, for example, I've been playing this game ever since this game came out, starting on day 3, and then started seriously playing day 4. So I'm one of the OGs for at least for the NA server. This game favors seniority a lot, a lot. That's how it is for a lot of mobile games, for FGO especially. Yeah. Seniority goes a long way, because if you've been playing for longer, obviously that means that your account is naturally better, because the more time you've been spending on your account, the better it should be, right? You just spent more time in your account. But also, the longer you've been playing, the more you've been you know, the more content that you've had access to. You played through all the events so far, at least hopefully, right? If you weren't taking a break or anything, at least. You've got all the welfares that by now you sometimes can't even access anymore. You've got access to all the event exclusive CEs that are really good, like Sumo, for example. Um, and you've gotten what? What else did I want to say there? Like especially if oh this is what I wanted to say. If you whale in this game, and you started off this game at very early like I did, and then started whaling from a very early point on in the game, you have access to a lot more scopes. That is for certain. Imagine being a whale and coming into this game now, just starting this game now, and you find out that K-scope is a thing, so you try rolling story for K-scopes. How long do you think it's gonna take? But yes, I agree, Eric, with that guy from your work who says that there's like quote-unquote royalty, because I am part of that quote-unquote royalty that he's referring to. I wouldn't call it royalty because that sounds kind of weird, but I would definitely say seniority. There's definitely seniority in this game. Also, Sniper Slay, you got you got Walther. Give her some extra crit rate buffers, rate of fire buffers, or damage buffers. What's a K-scope? It's the C right here. It's called, the full name is Kaleidoscope. We just shorten it to K-scope or just scope, or sometimes just scope. The reason why this C is so good is because read the description. You start every battle, no matter what it is, with instant NP access. It's one of the most broken Cs in the game because of that reason. You've been playing since for a year now and missing Saber Lancelot, Rogi, Shiki, and Chloe. You're kind of screwed, huh? No, not really. Caliber Gaming. If you're missing Saber, all three of those servants come back. You're lucky, Caliber Gaming, because if you started a year ago, that means that you've gotten all the best welfare servants, and you're in a good spot. So you're lucky. You joined the game at a good time, because that means that you have you have Kintoki, right? You might not have Chloe now, but she comes back, so you don't have to worry about her. Though you will have to wait for 2 years for her to come back, so you'll be waiting for a while. But at least she does come back. So if you're still playing by then, you have a chance to get her. You have Kintoki. Who else? You should have BB, right? So those two are probably the best. Two of the best welfares in the game, and you have them, so you don't need to worry about those two. Especially not Kintoki, where Kintoki is definitely not coming back. Oh no, sir. But yeah, you're okay. All those servants that you mentioned, they all come back. Rogi, Shiki, and Saber literally come back next year, like early first half of the year. So you actually don't have that long to wait. Maybe like 4 to 6 months. It's not that long. You good, fam? You good? Anyways, what was I doing? I think I was still rolling front points before I got interrupted. Which is better, multiple Cs or one max CE? Typically just one max CE. If you're talking about K-scope specifically, I've heard arguments for both. Oh, you want to max limit break 5 copies immediately, so you have one limit broken scope. And I've seen arguments for, oh, you want to wait until you get 6 copies so that you can have one limit broken and an extra regular copy of K-scope and blah blah blah. I've seen both ways. It just depends on context, depends on your account, and it depends on what you want and what you're comfortable with. Shimosa's coming before. We're gonna get rerun first, then Shimosa, then Halloween. At least I'm pretty sure that's the case. Bro, did you see my my question? No, I didn't. Too busy talking to a YouTube chat. Higher value would be MP1 or MP2 Saber, honestly. Since you said value and not DPS, Black Mist, I would honestly stick with who is it? MP1 or MP2 Saber. Because if you're asking me about value, right? If you're asking me about value, that means that I look at a lot of things besides just their damage. And looking into the future, because we have Clairvoyance EX memes, that we know for a fact that Saber gets a 30% battery. Not only that, but we already know that her charisma is stronger than Salter's, because Salter's charisma is fucking terrible. It's the weakest fucking charisma skill in the game, at only 12% at max level, which is pathetic. Saber's is at least a little bit better at 17.5%. So her charisma is stronger. I believe her instinct is stronger too. Maybe they have the same level of instinct actually. So maybe that doesn't matter. But still, in the future, so we know Saber is gonna get a 30% battery, right? So that's the case. Though, now that I do think about it, that upgrade is still like 2 years away, like at least a year and a half away. So it's like, well, like, is it really worth sticking with the MP1 or MP2 Saber when you still have like 1.5 years left to go on her instinct buff? It's like, by that point, you could probably get a lot of value out of your Salter at the same time. Let me put it this way. MP4 to MP5 Salter is more immediate high value because obviously you're getting MP4, MP5 Salter should do more damage than MP1, MP2 Saber. So you'll probably get more immediate value out of Salter in that case. However, give your Saber like a year and a half, and then she'll just she'll probably have overall better value. Better charisma, 30% battery, yada yada. Your biggest damage jump is MP1 and MP2. If you want to be minimum MP2 is okay, nice place to stop. That being said, though, while you're not wrong, that being said, MP3 is still a big jump in and of itself. Because going from MP1 to MP2 is the biggest jump, and then going from MP2 to MP3 is the next biggest jump. After MP3, the damage jumps, the damage scalings, the increases in damage scaling don't really start to not really matter too much because you're getting minimal damage scaling increases by that point. But so along that logic, yeah, you should probably go to MP3, but again, that's up to you. It's only 1 year? Okay. If it's only 1 year, then perhaps Saber's back on the table for higher value, but until then. Aren't their mana bursts different too? Nope, they have the exact same mana burst. 50%. Lalter is the only one who's got a different one. Lalter and Jailter. For some reason, Jailter has a 55% mana burst, just like Lalter. Which, don't know why they gave her that, but it's cool anyway. But no, only Lalter and Jailter have slightly better mana bursts, and they have the best mana burst skills in the game at 55%. watched Honaka buff the shit out of Hyde and he's still trash. He's used Hyde before, and I think I was in one of his streams where he did use Jekyll and Hyde on stream. The reason why Jekyll and Hyde is bad is because when you switch him off into a berserker, he loses half his damage for the ability to do 50% damage against everybody else. Which is not always ideal. So if you were to take Jekyll and Hyde up against the Riders, which, you know, Jekyll's standard class as assassin, right? So you'd be like, oh yeah, let's take him against Riders. Well, the moment you use his MP and he turns into a berserker, he loses half his damage right there. So he'd probably, honestly, Jekyll and Hyde, if you rely on his MP gimmick, for him to do damage, you're probably better off using Jekyll and Hyde to fight against like people who aren't Riders, which kind of defeats the purpose of him being an assassin in the first place. Yeah, Jalters is still 50%. The only Saber faces in this game who have stronger than average mana bursts are Lalter and Jailter. They both have 55%. I believe Santa Alter has like a 45% mana burst. Squirtle just straight up doesn't even have a mana burst. She has a charisma and an arts buff though. So I guess together you can kind of think of it as a mana burst, but it's not really the same as having an actual mana burst though. Yeah, highest tier of charisma is the one is at A+, the one that all the gills and Quetzalcoatl has. Does the rank of charisma change anything? The damage scaling. Saber, Artoria Pendragon, the vanilla Saber, she has charisma B. Charisma B scales from like around 8 to 17.5%. Whereas Charisma A+, which is what Gil and all the Gills and Quetzalcoatl has, it scales from about a little over 10% to 21%. And Charisma A, which is what Iskander has, is the normal 10 to 20%. Been neglecting boats. Do you watch any recent upcoming FGO streamers? And so, do you have any tips for them? I will say that I've been rating and hosting like smaller FGO streams here on Twitch, just to kind of help them out, because the community over on Twitch is super cool. So I always try to help the community out by every stream I try hosting or rating another stream out there. And on the rare occasion, I'll just get off stream without hosting or rating anybody. But those are usually pretty rare. I usually try to host and raid at least someone when I get off stream. So I do try to help the community a lot wherever I can, through that. But as far as tips and advice is concerned, I said this before again, but if you're like since you're asking for streamers specifically, try to be interactive with your chat. Be interactive with your chat, and always be in a position to give advice and help. Because you'll notice that the biggest and just be funny, and just be a, you know, just be super interactive. The most popular Twitch FGO streams that I see here, Fino, Kdroth, X0, Honako, I guess, to a certain extent, they're all very interactive, and probably the most importantly, this is what I'd say about people who are trying to start making YouTube videos on FGO over on the YouTube side of things. I guess this advice applies here too, but um, you want to have something, you want to be known for something unique, like something that you do that other people don't do. It's kind of like that for a lot of other, you know, YouTube communities or whatnot, right? Because if you go on YouTube, you know, everybody does servant reviews, everybody does gotcha rolls and shit like that. They're, you know, you can find that a dime a dozen. But what differentiates you? What makes you different? I'm different because the servant reviews that I do, they're not really reviews. It's just me just me having fun and just turning servants into fucking memes, and I give people a good laugh with it. Not only that, but nobody else does videos where they give quick, like short and simple, quick overviews of literally every single server in the game, because usually people want to do that because that's going to take way too long. But I do that, and you know, the how to use all the 4 stars in the game, how to use all the 5-star servers in the game. Like those videos are among my most popular videos because they're different, they're unique. People can watch one video and learn about literally all the servers in the game up until that point. So, yeah, because I just throw in a few memes here and there, and make it pretty funny to watch, with my fucking dry ass humor and my memes. People like that sort of thing, and they come back to me and ask me, "Oh, hey, when's your next meme video? When's this? When's that?" So you gotta find something that you don't think that other people are doing, that you think you can do well, and try to stick with that and see how far that takes you. That's the best advice that I can give, I think. And yes, I will be doing the how to use all the 3 stars once I'm done with once friend point rolling is done, and you know, I'm done with all that. Do you watch FGO YouTubers that aren't big ones, such as Soberoni? Isn't big? What the fuck? What the hell are you talking about? Soberoni is a bigger YouTuber than I am. But yes, I do. I watch Soberoni's videos, I watch Fino's videos, I don't really watch Mist as much. Doesn't he usually just do gotcha rolls and cry about them? I know he does, well, not him, but I've also watched, who else? I watch Musaki's videos from Chaldea Gurus. So, you know, Plushie Mistress? Ah, yes, the Carmilla fag, yes. Do I watch smaller YouTubers? Normally, I only really pay attention to the ones that I already kind of been watching from the beginning. Back when I first started making videos of my own, or even before I started making videos of my own, okay, I've been neglecting boats every single time. Yeah. Oh shit! Did I just go into a boss fleet with my fucking? Okay, no, that's the correct fleet. Didn't fuck up. But yeah. Nowadays, it's either I'm, you know, farming, playing some other game, or, you know, IRL's catching up to me, or I'm working on some sort of video, where, you know, lately I just don't have time to watch other people's videos anymore. I used to. Like, I used to make it a point to watch, who is it, Soberoni's videos every time. Whenever he came out with like a new servant review or something, but nowadays I can't even do that. Like I think I'm behind like 4 or 5 months worth of videos. So unfortunately, unless you're somebody I was already watching from the start, I probably don't have time to watch anybody else's. It's just how it is. Let's buy out these 2 cat boxes. I wonder what else I should buy. Do I even need the cog chips? Oh, Sundari Lord and Savior? When did people start calling me that? You want me to do account reviews? Doesn't K-Droth already do that? I know he's not the only one. I know people on YouTube do that too. Doesn't Shotgun Shogun also do that? You have them for that, don't you? In fact, I think K-Draw's streaming right now. Why don't you go over to him and tell him to what is it? What's the term again? Evaluate your account. I know there's a better word for that, but also it's super fucking cringy to me when you start calling me fucking Lord and Savior and Infinite Galaxy Brain and shit. I know you're just memes, but it's like, don't bother with the honorifics. Just ask. Alright, boys, I'm gonna get off here real soon. I'm just gonna get rid of these foes here real quick, and then we'll call it a stream. Because I said it would be a short stream. Health foe, give it to is Lancer already in? Yeah, she is. Okay. What meme would you use for Sherlock? I don't know. I'll have to start making a video on him to find out. You know why Quartz dropped FGO content? Oh boy, that discussion again. Real quick, it's because to put it lightly, he became tired with the community. Is what I got from that whole shit. Thanks for the afternoon. Yeah, just gonna wrap up these foes here real quick, and then we'll call it. How do you pick when going for higher MPs when pulling servants? How do I pick? I don't. I just get everyone to MP5 eventually. If you're talking about how I staggered them, I just look at future banners and see which ones we're gonna get and which ones we're not gonna get. We get most of them, but sometimes there are these JP only banners where they've got some sort of context behind them that it wouldn't really make much sense for NA to get. So I just exclude those and keep track of everything else. Hey, congrats Arca on your first mango. Wow, he's actually already max file. Okay, didn't know that. So was the guy evaluating accounts, an FGO streamer, Twitch streamer by the name of K Droth, and I would think Shotgun Shogun also does account reviews too. Okay, I think those are all the foes that I can use up. Oh wait, hold on. I can also use up the all class foes. Forgot about those. Playlist. Here we go. Why did you level up 2 Merlins? Go to YouTube and type in the most expensive Merlin NA. Watch that video and you'll get your answer. Where do you go to look at future banners? X0, can you give them if you have it in link form, can you give them the link to the imager file link where it shows you all the JP banners at once? I don't use that personally, but I know you always show that on stream, so maybe it'll help him. Yep, there it is. Thank you. Okay, that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna get off now because I said it would be a short stream. I'm gonna go eat dinner and then maybe roll some more friend points when I come back. But that'll do it for me. Just gonna answer a few more questions here. If you have to say top 10 most valuable servants of this upcoming banners this year, that'll require me to actually sit down and go through the lists, and that takes me. That's gonna take some time to do, time that I don't have right now. So just go watch other people's videos. They'll tell you that. I'll probably end up saying the same thing too. And I'm gonna edit the stream to the Lartorio rolls, or maybe do it off stream. Probably gonna do it off stream, to be honest. Not gonna lie, probably gonna just do it off stream because it's only 2 more copies. So yeah, I'll do it off stream. Anyways. Quartz has a lot more freedom with Girls Frontline for creativity. I mean, creativity wasn't the problem for him, cause his content was good. The shit that he was doing for FGO, like, I don't think creativity is the issue. Nah, I don't buy that. Especially with what people have told me that happened before in his own streams. Nah, I don't really buy that. Like, creativity, if you want to, the biggest flaw in that argument, discard, was it you who said that? Let's see. Yeah, the biggest flaw with that discard, even if it is just a guess, the biggest flaw with that statement is that you're implying that creativity comes from the game, not from the person, not from the content creator, which is not the case. Like, obviously that's not the case. Like, if you're a creative person, you'll make something, you'll make content, and you don't need to rely on a game to get creativity. If you're just a naturally creative person, you'll do what you want, and you'll make it work. And Quartz was a creative person. with and especially with what his content was about. So I don't really buy that. Oh, girls frontline is more, it allows for more creativity than FGO. I don't buy that really. I think it was because of other reasons. Reasons that I'm not particularly fond of if they end up turning out to be true, but that's besides the point. Anyways, that's it. That's gonna be it for me, guys. I'm gonna go raid somebody. Who should we raid? And we'll raid Honoko. Sure, why not? We haven't raided him in a while. Alrighty, boys. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon. TM. Actually, I'm probably not gonna be back for a while because I wanna concentrate on rolling some prem points, make the most use out of the double success rate up, and then making videos. I want to make a lot of videos for the rest of this month and then going into next month. So I guess look forward to those. Thanks for watching, guys. I think I should have a video out by tomorrow on like the importance of friend points, which is what I spent a lot of this stream talking about because I was fucking rolling friend points, right? So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time, and have a good rest of your day, evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you guys are, and we'll see you next time. And peace.